Hello there. Welcome to video 135 from Sumit Academy. I do hope that you have subscribed to my channel. Do subscribe now so that you do not miss out on my previous or future videos. And do remember to like and share this video too. And if you want to drop in a line, I shall always be available at sumitacademy20@gmail.com. To make your task a little easier, here is a complete list of all the 135 videos available on my YouTube channel. The list is divided into the playlists under which they are available. Do take a look. If you feel that your command over the English language is not good, or you want to prepare for your forthcoming exams, then this video is for you. Here we shall learn about using idioms to polish up our language. But a word before that. I do hope that you have seen my earlier video on idioms. Please do so. It will be useful for you. Now, this is the first of 4 videos on idioms. These 4 videos will encourage you to learn 200 idioms in a simple, easy to understand language, along with example sentences. And of course, a dash of humor now and then. So, what are idioms? An idiom is a phrase which always refers to something else rather than what each word signifies. Each idiom carries a figurative meaning which is quite different from the literal meaning. In English, there are an estimated 25,000 idiomatic expressions. Idioms are one of the hardest parts of learning a language. An idiom is a phrase which has a meaning, but the meaning is not clear from the words themselves. If you translate an idiom word for word, it sometimes makes no sense at all. They are like puzzles, and even native speakers can get confused uh, about the meaning of the words. And especially when someone uses a phrase that they have never heard of. With that in mind, here are 50 common English idioms that you can use in a variety of situations. Before we do that, a word about the month of February. After all, we are in the month of February now. Before we adopted the Latin name for our second month, Old English used a much more vibrant names to describe the month now known as February. The most common Old English name was Salmonat, which literally means mud month. A lesser used term was Kalemonat, which meant cabbage month. Perhaps the medieval English were eating a lot of cabbage in February. Strange. Now, where did the word February come from? Since other months like January are named after Roman gods, you would be forgiven for thinking that February was named after the Roman god Februus. But the word February comes from the Roman festival of purification called Februa, during which people were ritually washed. In this case, the god was named after the festival, not the other way around. Must have been a pretty good festival. Well, the birds are tweeting, the skies are blue, and love is in the air. Why? Valentine's Day is near, of course. Valentine's Day is celebrated on the 14th of February and is a day to display romantic love and celebrate friendship. The occasion first became associated with romantic love when Geoffrey Chaucer based many of his stories in the Canterbury Tales around courtly love in the 14th century. So, what better way to put you in the mood than with some expressions all about love? Our first idiom thus is match made in heaven. A match made in heaven refers to two people who are perfectly suited to each other. It's also now used to refer to any two things that go well together. Coming to our country, why not idli and sambar? Now that's a match made in heaven. Let's see another example. Rohit and Usha really are a match made in heaven. I can't wait for their wedding. A second idiomatic expression is puppy love. Puppy love is a feeling of love that a young person has for somebody else. Adults often use the phrase to show that they don't think it's very serious. The term was made popular in the 70s by Donny Osmond, who sang a song of the same name at just 13 years of age. Now let's see it used in a sentence. Dolly has a cool new boyfriend, but it's just puppy love. A third idiom is head over heels. The phrase head over heels is often used in combination with the verb fall. The literal and original meaning is that you are falling over yourself in a somersault. Now, it's more commonly used to say you are completely and totally in love. For example, as soon as I saw her, I fell head over heels. Wow. Fourth, love at first sight. Perhaps this one translate into your own language, as it has been around since ancient Greek times. It means an instant feeling of love when you see someone for the first time. However, many people believe this is actually a feeling of instant attraction, not love. To use it in a sentence, we can say that when Ravi met Molly, it was love at first sight. They got married 6 months later. At number 5 is love is blind. If you are blinded by love, you don't see the faults or the imperfections of who you love. This expression is first found in Geoffrey Chaucer's Merchant's Tale, which he wrote in the year 1405. But it didn't become commonly used until Shakespeare used it again in the 1500s. To use it in a sentence, we may say, love is blind. He's so lazy, but she still loves him. Again, you can explain any mismatched couple by saying that, well, they say that love is blind. Sixth, we have the expression old flame. A person you loved in the past is an old flame. This could be an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or a former lover. I bumped into an old flame at the mall last week. It was very awkward. I can well believe that. Seventh, carry a torch for somebody. If you carry a torch for somebody, you are madly in love with them. However, this phrase suggests that this love only goes in one direction or the other person doesn't know about your feelings. It comes from the idea of keeping a fire burning and may relate to the Greek and Roman concept of a wedding torch, where a bride would carry a torch made of hawthorn on the day she got married. Let's see an example. I have always carried a torch for my next door neighbor. But we are just friends, really. At number 8 is kiss and make up. After an argument, people normally kiss and make up. Now, this means to become friendly again and forgive each other. It's typically used for a romantic couple but can also be used figuratively for two friends who have fallen out. For example, he was angry at me all day, but we eventually kissed and made up. No, before you get any funny ideas, it is to be used figuratively and not literally. So don't actually try to kiss your friend. At number 9 is wear your heart on your sleeve. If you show your emotions freely, you wear your heart on your sleeve, meaning they are visible for anyone and everyone to see. For example, Vibha is so sweet. She really does wear a heart on her sleeve. At 10th, we have tie the knot. This is an informal term or an euphemism for getting married. Originally, It was an actual knot used in marriage ceremonies, which was seen as a symbol of unity. We still do that, don't we? An example sentence would be Jackie and Alex finally tied the knot. I'm so happy for them. 11th, we have get your act together. This means that you need to improve your behavior or work. This might be something your teacher says to you if you score badly in an exam or if you misbehave in class. You can also use it to talk about people in general. For example, if your friend is being mean or nasty for no reason, then you can tell them that they need to get their act together. At number 12, we have pull yourself together. This means to calm down. This is a somewhat impolite way of telling someone that they are overreacting and that they need to relax. Only use this if you think the person you're speaking to is getting upset over something insignificant. If your friend tells you that their close relative has died, it is not the time to tell them to pull themselves together. Most inappropriate. At 13, we have the idiom to feel under the weather. This means that one is sick. Yes, it's longer and more difficult to say than I am sick. But if your English teacher asks you why you haven't done your homework, he or she is more likely to forgive you if you say that you were feeling under the weather. At number 14, we have it's a piece of cake. This means that it's easy. I don't know why this means what it does, but sometimes, oh well, you just have to accept the English people use weird phrases. For example, don't worry, I'll get the job done on time. It's a piece of cake. Aha! And now for a curious one. At number 15 is break a leg. Contrary to the words, it means good luck. It's not a curse. This is perhaps one of the most confusing yet well known English idioms. If someone says this to you, do not take offense or think they are threatening you. They are just wishing you luck. It is most often used for people wishing success to actors and actresses before they perform on the stage. But it can be said in other situations too. But do make sure that the other person is good in English. Otherwise, you'll have a fight on your hands. Probably the most commonly asked question in English is, how are you? Usually a simple, very well, thanks is the way to answer. What about if you want to become more honest or descriptive about your mood, though? Here are some idioms and expressions to help you describe your mood in English. At number 16, we have bent out of shape. When you're bent out of shape over something, you feel very annoyed or angry. You can use the preposition about instead of over if you prefer. For example, she got bent out of shape over the new dress code at work. At number 17 is cloud 9. When someone is on cloud 9, it means that he or she is feeling extremely happy. For example, when he finally proposed to her, she was on cloud nine. At 18th is the expression spaced out. When you are not concentrating on what is going on around you, you can say that you are spaced out or daydreaming. For example, Akash, are you listening? You look totally spaced out. Our 19th idiom is shaken up. After people receive shocking news or experience something unexpected, they may feel shaken up. It means to be shocked or very surprised. For example, after the accident, she was completely shaken up. Our 20th idiom is on pins and needles. When people say they are on pins and needles, they aren't talking about sewing or injections. It really means that they are feeling anxious or nervous. For example, the movie was so suspenseful, I was on pins and needles the whole time. Our 21st idiom is beat or bushed. The next time someone asks you how you're feeling after a long and tiring day, you can tell them that you're beat or that you are bushed. This is another way to say that you're exhausted. A perfect excuse not to wash the dishes. For example, sorry, I can't do the chores today. I am beat or I am bushed. Then at 22nd, we have head over heels. Being in love is an amazing feeling. Being head over heels in love is a popular expression to describe that feeling of being completely in love with someone. You can also say you're madly in love. But do be careful. Don't try to copy the Hindi movies and say that to every girl you meet on the road. Her heels may land on your head. 23rd, we have fed up. Whenever you feel really frustrated about something and no longer want to deal with it, you can tell people that you're completely fed up. As an example, I've had a terrible day at work and I'm feeling completely fed up. 24th, chilled out. This expression simply means the same as relaxed. It's an informal expression and you can use it to talk about how you feel or to describe an activity that makes you feel that way. For example, I feel really chilled out after my dance class. It really helps me relax. 25th. Now, this is a very interesting one. From A to B. This simple idiom means just that, from one place to another. People talk about getting from A to B when they are generally referring to a journey they need to make without saying where the journey will take them. For example, I really do not care if you purchase an old car so long as it takes us from A to B. Let's try another example. Using Google Maps, a driver can effortlessly drive from A to B without getting lost en route. A word of caution here. You can talk about going between two different places or from one idea to another and then going back again. But when you talk about the forward direction, it's more common to start with A and work down the alphabet. Like you don't normally say, I'm going from F to G. Sounds awkward. So we start with A and work down the alphabet. For instance, we went from A to B and then from B to C, returned to B, and finally went back from B to A. Oops, confusing? Not much. Although you could start by saying that you went from B to A, it's not an intuitive progression. However, you could use it specifically if you wanted to call out something unusual. For example, rather than doing things in the proper order, I instead went from B to A. At 26th, we have from A to Z. This means very thoroughly, completely and in detail, which is describing, including, or knowing everything about a subject. Let's see some examples. I know that my parents will take care of everything from A to Z if I ask them. Or he knows the history of art from A to Z. Some other examples. Here we go. This book is the final word on this subject. It covers everything from A to Z. You will have to check the list meticulously from A to Z and ensure that nothing is missing. If you want to find out about that place, ask him. He knows everything about it from A to Z. Well, I hope now all the alphabets are clear to you. 27th. Our next idiom is to be taken aback. If you are taken aback by something, you're surprised or shocked by it, and you cannot respond at once. Let's see some examples. I was a little taken aback at the directness of the question. He was taken aback by the new demands of the job. Some more examples are everyone was taken aback by her sudden anger. The COVID affected family seemed taken aback by the overwhelming generosity of their neighbors. Yeah, I do hope that you look after your friends and neighbors if they are unfortunate enough to suffer from COVID. She was completely taken aback by his anger. Another one, I was really taken aback by his rude and childish behavior. Number 28, we have the idiom get above yourself. This means to start to think that you're more important than you really are. If you say that someone is getting above themselves, you disapprove of them because they think they are better than everyone else. For example, ever since they made her the deputy manager, she's been getting above herself. We all come across people like that, don't we? Another one. I just think you are getting a little bit above yourself. 29th. A penny for your thoughts. Now, this is a way of asking someone to share their thoughts with you. For example, I'll give you a penny if you tell me your thoughts. At number 30, we have the idiom actions speak louder than words. This means that what someone actually does means more than what they say. As an example, Sonu Sood actually helping out migrants is far better than the hollow promises of others who just keep promising to do so. Actions do speak louder than words. At number 31 is an arm and a leg, a phrase used to massively over exaggerate when something might be overly priced. For example, this coat cost me an arm and a leg. No, not your actual ones. In reality, you are just paying a greater amount than what you are usually used to. At number 32, we have back to the drawing board. Now, this is used to indicate that an idea, scheme, or proposal has been unsuccessful and the new one should be devised. For example, well, my election strategy didn't work out, so it's back to the drawing board. Number 33 is the ball is in your court. When someone says the ball is in your court, it means it is up to you to make the next move. It refers to the person who is responsible to make the next move, whether in an activity, game, incident, or event. For example, he proposed to her, but the ball is now in her court to decide. Number 34 is the idiom barking up the wrong tree. This means that you are looking in the wrong place, accusing the wrong person, or pursuing a mistaken or misguided line of thought. Let's see example. The police were barking up the wrong tree by trying to prove my friend guilty. Another one. If you expect to borrow money from me, you are barking up the wrong tree. Number 35 is the idiom beat around the bush. This is a typical British saying meaning you are purposely avoiding the topic in the subject, not speaking directly about the issue. For example, quit beating around the bush and tell me what you really want. Number 36. Biting more than you can chew. This is a classic idiom meaning you're trying to accomplish something that is too difficult for you. For example, by taking up two part-time jobs, he is clearly biting off more than he can chew. Or we may say he bought the old house but soon realized he had bitten off more than he could chew as he could not afford to maintain it. 37. Best thing since sliced bread. Now, this means a good invention or innovation, a good idea or a good plan. It is used probably because the best thing to happen to the British is sliced bread. For example, I bought a new PlayStation. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Or The invention of internet has changed the way we live. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Number 38. You can't judge a book by its cover. This is a classic saying meaning one should not judge something or someone by how it looks. It's what on the inside, the content, that counts most. For example, the candidate did not look very intelligent, but you can't judge a book by its cover. If I had judged a book by its cover, I would never have married the love of my life. Ah, the Valentine effect is still there. At number 39 is curiosity killed the cat. This means being too inquisitive can lead you to an unpleasant situation. Finding out an answer may in fact ruin the question for you. For example, Sandy was very curious about where Deepika was getting all her money from. But all she said was, curiosity killed the cat. At number 40, we have don't count your chickens before your eggs have hatched. Or don't count your chickens before they hatch. Either way. Basically, don't make plans for something that might not happen. You should not depend on something that has yet to happen. For example, why not wait till you get confirmation for your promotion? Aren't you counting your chickens before they have hatched? Another one. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. You don't know yet if she will accept your offer of marriage. Our 41st idiom is don't give up your day job. This is a saying to imply you are not very good at something, so you shouldn't try it professionally or at all. It is used as a humorous way of recommending someone not to pursue something at which they are unlikely to be successful. For example, I watched your performance at the theatre today. My advice is don't give up your day job and pursue acting only as a hobby. Another one, don't give up your day job. You won't go anywhere with that kind of singing. 42nd, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your hope resources in one possibility, is what it means. It means not to risk everything on the success of one venture. Again, as usual, an example. My financial advisor urged me to be careful and not put all my eggs in one basket by investing on stocks. Or he was able to recover from his losses because he didn't put all his eggs in one basket. 43rd, we have a really old one. Elvis has left the building. This is said when an event or performance has come to an end or when someone or something has left a place, especially in a dramatic fashion. The phrase refers to an announcement famously made at the end of Elvis Presley concerts, alerting people that he had vacated the premises and no further encores would be played. Now let's try and use it in an example. We kept waiting for the band to come back on stage to perform some of our favorite songs, but it looked like Elvis had left the building. We may also use it in a daily life. For example, what are you waiting for now? Elvis has left the building. Our 44th idiom is hit the nail on the head. A saying that simply means you have done or said something exactly right, matching someone's feelings, point, or to describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem. For example, Prabha hit the nail on the head when she said that what the company was lacking in was clear vision and focus. Let's see another example. You have spotted the flaw, Ravi. You hit the nail on the head. At number 45 is hit the sack. The sack would be your bed, and you hitting it would be you going to bed. For example, after the long day in office, I was dead tired and ready to hit the sack at night. Another one. Before I hit the sack at night, I check that all the doors are locked. Number 46 is it takes two to tango. This means that both parties involved in a situation or argument are equally responsible for it. Now, this is said when you want to emphasize that both people involved in a difficult situation must accept the blame, or that an activity needs two people who are willing to take part for it to happen. For example, she may want to argue, but it takes two to tango, and I won't stoop to her level. Or, the government will never reach an agreement with the farmers until they sit down for a discussion. It takes two to tango. And for local use, at home, daily use, you can even say, I can't play carom all by myself. It takes two to tango. At number 47, we have kill two birds with one stone. Now, this means when you accomplish two tasks in one go. So, if you need to go to the bank and you drop your library books off on the way, you will be killing two birds with one stone. But don't kill birds, okay? For example, I have to go to the bank and on the way back, I'll pick up the groceries as well, killing two birds with one stone. Number 48 is method to my madness. This means that despite something sounding crazy or absurd, there is in fact a structure or reasoning behind it. In other words, to do things in an unorthodox fashion, yet achieve the intended result. It is used to assure someone that one's actions have a purpose, though they may initially seem foolish or crazy. Sometimes it's not prudent or expedient to explain a plan in full. Telling someone there is a method in my madness is a way of asking him to trust you until the outcome becomes apparent. For example, you may be thinking I have gone crazy, but there is a method to my madness. Our 49th idiom is not playing with the full deck. Now, this means to not be completely honest in a contest or discussion and therefore have an unfair advantage over other people. It also means being not mentally sound, crazy, or mentally deranged, or not very bright or intelligent. In other words, dim-witted. Let's see examples. This guy is either very clever or he is not playing with a full deck. Harry is a nice guy, but with some of the foolish things he does, I wonder he is not playing with a full deck. And finally, our 50th idiom is see eye to eye. It is used when you view something in the same way as others do, or that you agree with someone about something. For example, though they work as a team, they often don't see eye to eye on most issues. Thank God we finally have a new team member who sees eye to eye with me on most things. Well, that's all from me in this video. All in all, learning a new language can be challenging. It's definitely not a piece of cake, especially when there are so many confusing idioms. However, with enough hard work and interest, you will succeed in no time. Do look out for my next 3 videos on idioms. Together, these 4 videos will help you master 200 idioms in an easy to understand language. This video is based on the information freely available on the internet. No originality is claimed for the same. The intention of this video is only to prepare candidates for answering examination questions on the subject and not for any financial gains. Do like and share this video and do subscribe to my channel now so that you do not miss out on my previous or future videos. And if you wish to drop in a line, I shall always be available at sumitacademy20@gmail.com. Till later then, cheerio and break a leg.